In Mang Mountain, the danger is not only the demon that is raging now, but also many ferocious wild beasts. Mang Mountain is a place where spiritual energy gathers, and many materials needed for refining pills by the cultivators grow here. Therefore, the wild beasts here are more powerful than those in other places, and some of them have even opened up their spiritual intelligence and can manipulate simple magical powers. They are spirit beasts. Of course, these things are not a problem for Bai Qiuran. Although he is very awkward in terms of realm, he has been out of this low-level novice map for 3,000 years. He has experienced the dangerous places of the 9 states and 10 lands, and even the more dangerous and terrifying wilderness and sea. He came here just to find a few auxiliary herbs that are not commonly used in the foundation building pill. Bai Qiuran's foundation building pill has long been out of the prototype of the standard foundation building pill in the cultivation world. In order to cope with his special situation, he added a lot of private goods to the foundation building pill he refined, and it has become unrecognizable. Ordinary tea refining cultivators would probably not be able to withstand the medicinal power and die directly if they used his foundation building pill to break through. And now that he is close to breaking through again, he is missing a few herbs in his pill formula. These herbs are rare, but their level is not very high, and they are not widely used. Sometimes cultivators would ignore them even if they saw them, so the Qingming Sword Sect's warehouse did not have them ready, and Bai Qiuran had to go down the mountain to get them himself. After half a day's journey, after entering the range of Mang Mountain, Bai Qiuran immediately released his divine sense and searched for the herbs he needed. Although he did not build a foundation, did not have true essence, could not form a nascent soul or leave his body with his soul, but after 3,000 years of constant tempering, Bai Qiuran's divine sense was very powerful. Without leaving his body with his soul, his divine sense had even reached the level of being able to manipulate physical attacks with his mind, which was more terrifying than ordinary immortals. Standing in Mang Mountain, he spread his divine sense like a carpet in all directions, and easily found the location of the herbs he needed from the vast Mang Mountain. In the meantime, he even encountered a huge black snake that was about to transform into a demon in a mountain stream. This snake that had eaten people wanted to swallow him, but he killed it with one palm, and by the way got a good quality inner pill, ready to add it to the pill furnace at that time, to enhance the medicinal power. This is the last herb. On a cliff, Bai Qiuran picked a strange herb that looked like a human heart from the rock wall and put it into his storage bag, then flew down to the ground. Now, the materials for the foundation building pill are complete. I have to look for the materials for the longevity pill. Bai Qiuran's mind flashed the face of Zhu Ling, the dead man, and his original good mood became a bit gloomy. TSK, it's really unpleasant. Why do others live for 3,000 years? They can jump out of the 5 elements, live a long and free life. I live for 3,000 years. I have to be remembered by the soul catcher every year. The world is really unfair. Having said that, but for his dream of building a foundation, the longevity pill still had to be refined. The underworld had nothing to do with him, but after all, it was an important world that maintained the normal operation of the order of heaven and earth, and he had to give face, and besides, his master Qingming Taoist was still in the immortal world. If Bai Qiuran's reckless actions affected Qingming Taoist's future in the immortal world, that would not be good. Thinking of this, Bai Qiuran did not delay any longer, packed up his storage bag, and left the cliff. But before leaving Mang Mountain, he had one more place to go. There was a demon in Mang Mountain that was causing trouble, devouring living people, and harming the common people. As a person of the Qingming Sword Sect, no matter how others evaluated them, Bai Qiuran could not ignore it. When he used his divine sense to scan Mang Mountain before, he also found the lair of the demon. Before leaving, Bai Qiuran decided to go there by the way, and kill the demon, so that it would not continue to harm the common people. By the way, there were a few herbs for refining the longevity pill, and he also took them together. Mang Mountain covers an area of hundreds of miles, which is also vast. According to the results of Bai Qiuran's divine sense scan, the demon was hiding in a place more than 100 miles away from here. He had been leisurely picking herbs these days, while also monitoring the movement of the demon with his divine sense from time to time. If it went out to hunt again, Bai Qiuran decided to catch up with it and kill it before it harmed people. But after observing it for a few days, he found something strange. The place where the demon was hiding was full of resentment and blood, and it also had a lot of such aura. It was undoubtedly that it had eaten a lot of people, but its eating frequency did not seem to be as frequent as the rumors had said. The first time Bai Qiuran caught it with his divine sense, the demon seemed to have just completed a hunt and was on its way back to its nest. But it had been staying in its nest for the past few days, digesting the previous prey, and did not go out to attack people again. This was completely different from the greedy and insatiable glutton described in the rumors. Bai Qiuran felt that there might be something else behind this, but he was not in a hurry. He would kill the demon and ask about the nearby villages and towns if there had been any demon attacks during this period, and then he would be able to tell. He lifted a breath of true qi that was more pure than true essence, and Bai Qiuran did not dawdle on the way. His figure turned into a mirage, and he arrived at the place where the demon was in an instant. This was a sparse forest, and the plants in the forest were eroded by resentment and most of them had withered. The few that survived also became gloomy and eerie, and looked very dark and mysterious. Not far from the front of the withered leaf forest, there was a bare mountain peak with strange rocks. Under the mountain peak was the lair of the demon, a deep cave that slanted straight into the ground. At the entrance of the cave, there were a lot of bones piled up, but Bai Qiuran moved quickly and glanced at the entrance, and found that there seemed to be fresh blood stains. He found that the situation seemed to be different, and Bai Qiuran stopped here and observed the situation for a while. He looked carefully and found that there were traces of fighting left on the trunks of the trees in the forest, and some of the trees were chopped in half. Did someone come in? And there was a fight. This was also possible. Although Bai Qiuran had been monitoring the demon with his divine sense, after finding the demon, he was lazy and took back his original divine sense that covered the entire Mang Mountain, leaving only one strand locked on the demon. And just now, in order to hurry up, Bai Qiuran took back his divine sense for a short time. Perhaps in these few days, people from outside the mountain gathered martial arts people, and entered the Mang Mountain from another direction, and found the location of the demon. Then, in the short moment when Bai Qiuran took back his divine sense, they fought with the demon. As for the result, it was obvious. Bai Qiuran glanced at the few incomplete corpses in the withered forest. If they had won, Bai Qiuran would not have to come here. Bang! Bang! In the cave ahead, there was a violent metal clash sound, and hearing this sound, Bai Qiuran sped up his pace and went quickly into the cave. There were still people alive, but from the sound, they were already in a precarious situation, and Bai Qiuran had some worries in his heart. He thought of the young man who had come along with him and had a drink with him. As early as at the roadside inn, when Tang Wei mentioned that there was a demon in Mang Mountain, Bai Qiuran had vaguely sensed his intention. This young master seemed to have a lot of hostility towards the cultivators, and also had a strange sense of responsibility for the situation of the people of Shangxuan country who were suffering. He would not ask for help from the cultivators, but he would not ignore the common people who were suffering from the demon. Then there was only one way, to gather martial arts people and come to crusade against the demon. Bai Qiuran thought that he would kill the demon before Tang Wei acted, but he did not expect that this inexperienced young master had unexpectedly had charisma and initiative. Bai Qiuran had only parted with him for a few days, and he had completed the personnel recruitment, and brought a group of martial arts people into the mountain to kill the demon. He hoped he had not died, otherwise it would be a pity. Bai Qiuran sped up his pace, and in an instant he came from the outside of the withered leaf forest to the inside of the cave. In the hollow of the underground cave that was about a few hundred square meters, Bai Qiuran saw two corpses that were covered in wounds and had broken bodies, but they had a faint black aura. They were corpse demons, and they were pressing towards the only survivor in the cave. And their target was Tang Wei, who Bai Qiuran had thought of